Shalom, we are TTIC. I'm going to read a disclaimer. TTIC, also known as the Truth in Christ, is a Bible-based organization. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. We teach the Bible as it is written. We are not a hate group, nor do we teach violence. We do not condone any acts of hate or violence against any race, ethnicity, gender, and religious groups. We firmly believe in abiding by the laws of the city and state. If you witness any member of TTIC committing a crime, please contact us and the proper authorities.
All right, shalom, Most High Christ bless. I'm Brother Mark of TTIC. How y'all brothers and sisters doing out there today? All right, happy Sabbath to y'all brothers and sisters. We're going to start off. Today's class is called the Feast of Dedication. Today's class is called the Feast of Dedication. So we're going to we'll start off with Daniel chapter 8, verse 21. All right.
Daniel 8, verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
So the horn is the king, which is Alexander the Great. So we're going to take a look at we're going to start out with this. Give me John. Give me John first, chapter 10.
First John or John?
John, rather John. John chapter 10.
24.
10 and 22.
John 10 and verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication, and it was winter.
It was at Jerusalem at the feast of dedication, and it was winter. Read.
And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
Read.
Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, How long doest thou make us to doubt? If thou be the Christ, tell us plainly.
So Christ it was winter time, and he was ready to celebrate the feast of what?
Dedication.
Dedication. So how did this thing come about? How did this thing come about? We'll read about it. Give me 1 second. How did this thing come about? Give me Alexander also. Give me Alexander the Great on your phone. Give me Alexander the Great. Before we even start, we're going to talk about Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great, former king of Macedonia. Which one you want? Wikipedia.
Yeah, Wikipedia. Let's go with that. Wikipedia. Yeah.
Alexander the Third of Macedonia, Greek. Alexandros, commonly known as Alexander the Great, was a king of ancient Greek kingdom of Macedonia. Macedonia. A member of the Age dynasty of the Argead dynasty. He was born in Pella, a city in ancient Greece, in 356 BC.
Come on.
He succeeded his father, King Philip II.
So his father was King Philip II. Watch this. Come on.
To the throne at the age of 20.
So when he took over the throne, he was young, 20 years old. Watch this. Read.
And spent most of his ruling years conducting a lengthy military campaign throughout Western Asia and Northeastern Africa.
All right, stop right there. So Alexander the Great. So what happened once he took over king? Let's go to 1 Maccabees 1. Go read something. 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1 also.
1 Maccabees 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians.
So he's smitten Darius, king of Persia. Go ahead.
and Medes, and he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
So he was the first ruler over Greece. So when you go back and you look at it, I want y'all to go back, and if you ever get a chance, Google Alexander the Great. If you will see that he was a so-called white man, which is an Edomite. Okay, so this was their first time ruling over everybody. So Alexander the Great was the first conqueror of the so-called white man. Okay, all right. So now watch this. Hold on, because I want something real quick. Give me 1 second, also. Okay, keep on reading. Go ahead.
And made many wars and won many strongholds.
So he made many wars and go ahead.
And won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth.
And he slew the kings of the earth. So possibly around 331 BC to 333 BC to 331 BC, Alexander the Great conquered the Persian and Medes Empire. Everybody understand that? All right, around 333 to 331 BC, he conquered the Greek Empire. All right, verse 3.
Verse 3. And went through the ends of the earth.
Stop. Let me ask y'all a question, because I'm glad that came up right there. Read it again, officer, one more time. I'm sorry.
And went through the ends of the earth.
Has the Greeks been on this side of the world at that time?
No.
No, they have not. So when it says that he been through the ends of the what? Earth? Mm-hmm. That's talking about just where he conquered it. It's not talking about the whole earth.
Right.
It's talking about where he was at. That's facts. They've never been on this side of land. The first time they've been on this side of the land was when Christopher, actually before him, Amerigo Vespucci, but when Christopher Columbus came over here, that's when they really explored this side of the world. So when it says, let's read that one more time also.
Verse 3.
Verse 3.
And went through the ends of the earth.
He went through the ends of the earth. You see how that's expressing that he went through the ends of the earth. So he did not travel the whole earth because he ain't even been on this side of the world. He never been on the western hemisphere. He only been on the eastern hemisphere. So watch this. Come on.
And took spoils of many nations.
And he took spoils, so he ruined many nations.
Insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
You notice that it's saying that the earth was quiet before him? Because at that time, we only stayed on that side of the world. So when it says the earth, it's talking about that what? Just from Africa and Europe at that time. And Spain, all that. Don't let me leave that out. China, we know. We talking about this side of the world. I ain't got no map. We need a map. We need a map to show you. But we got that coming. We got that coming. All right. So go ahead, officer. I just wanted to make that. Do that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
So, but because the point I'm trying to make it is because there's a lot of brothers that's trying to bring other things into the Bible. And trying to bring with their own understanding, they leaning unto their own understanding and not understanding what the Bible's saying. All right, he just said to the ends of the earth, but we only was on the eastern hemisphere. We was never on the western hemisphere at that time. But he said to the ends of the earth, meaning that would make a normal, common man, carnal man, that would think that he'd been all the way around the what? Around the planet. But he only been on that side. So that makes sense. All right, let's go more, officer. Bring it on.
All right, and so much that the earth was quiet before him.
The earth, the whole earth on that side was quiet before him because it's all where mankind dwelt. And mankind dwelt according to the other what? Nation. But our nation was already over here. Our nation was already on this side of the world. We was already over here. The so-called Indians, they was already here. Watch this, read.
Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up, and he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and nations, and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die.
So he knew the word perceived meaning he knew he was going to die. Watch this, come on.
Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them.
And he parted his kingdom upon him. Okay. I'm a struggle. Ptolemy, Cassander, Seleucus, and Lysimus. I can't pronounce that last word, but I'll come back and I'll say all four of them again. Give me a minute. Come on.
While he was yet alive.
While he was yet alive. So it was 4 men that he divided his kingdom upon. Watch this.
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
So he reigned 12 years and he died. Watch this.
And his servants bare rule every one in his place.
And his servants bare rule every one in his place. But watch this. Watch what happened.
And after his death.
They
all put crowns upon themselves.
Watch this.
So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth.
And what?
Evils were multiplied in the earth.
So after that, after the sons took over, evils was multiplied in the earth. Y'all see that thing right there? Evils was multiplied in the earth. Y'all give me 1 second, please. So after they took over, evils was what?
Multiplied in the earth.
So evils was multiplied in the earth. Give me 1 second, guys.
Lysimachus.
So the word was Lysimachus. That's why I had to go in there and make sure I couldn't read all my daggone paper. Okay, Lysimachus. All right. So that was the 4 that Bird ruled that took over his place when he died, and evils was increased. What's some of the things that y'all think happened that was evil? What's some of the evils that increased?
Pedophilia.
Pedophilia. Okay. Bestiality. Okay, even though those things was already being committed, because in the law it speaks that. Okay, y'all praise it. What some of the other evils could have increased? Murder. Just go on another wider scale. Go on a bigger scale. Not the small things. Go on a bigger. Murder was one of them that did increase. But we was already fighting, right? But murder was one. But what else?
As far as them conquering and strong arming other nations.
They was conquering, strong arming as one. What was going to go on? Think about it. What do we got right now in America? We got the Democratic and the what? Republican. So we was going to have, what was we going to have when they took over?
Politics.
We're going to have politics. We can have politics. What's some of the other things? Go ahead. What you got? Yeah, I see you got the look on your face. Go ahead. What you got, man?
Yeah, I was getting ready to say in the political realm, but also probably far-fetched religious practices.
Religion practices was going to take over. That's powerful because that was coming up too.
A lot of times religious practices is intertwined with politics.
Right. All praises. Okay, so what else? What else could happen? See, y'all getting there. It's smoke right there. Where there's smoke, where they say where there's smoke, there's what? There's fire. So you get hot. You get hot right there. Also, the thing about it is, like when they did take over, you're right. Like when you talk about bestiality, when you one of y'all said bestiality, was it you? You said bestiality. They was gonna start experimenting because, as you know, as we gonna move farther ahead of ourselves, and then we're gonna come back to where we are right now. So what could also possibly was gonna happen like right now? They'd be experimenting with what? Animals, where we got these different diseases out here right now. Those things was gonna take over. The nuclear weapons, the weapons was gonna increase when these people took over. So that's why it says evils was what? Multiplied in the earth. I'm just giving y'all some thoughts on some things, okay? Because these things was going to happen down the line where we at right now, what? Today. Because the Greeks is the same people as the Romans, and the Romans the same people as the Americans. Let's do it like this. The Greeks is the same people as the Romans. The Romans the same people as the Spaniards. The Spaniards the same people as the French. The French is the same. Did I say Spaniards? France, Germany. France is the same people as Germany. Germany is the same people as Russia, and Russia is the same people as the Europe, and Europe is the same people of America. Do that make sense to you? That's your seven, the red dragon, okay? That's the 7 horns on the red dragon. Just named them to you.
And also, too, Elder, Catholicism is in the forefront of their religious practices.
So also, it's powerful that you say that, because Catholicism is in the forefront of their religion practices. You're exactly right. Along with the because that's, even though they let Christianity be out in front, but that Catholic, that thing right there is their main power right there, because that's what the Pope is through. Mm-hmm. The Catholicism is through the Pope. That the Pope makes the decision on all religion things. So it's powerful. All right, come on, officer, where you at?
All right,
it's verse 9.
10.
No, 10.
And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Ephesians.
Epiphanes.
Son of Antiochus the king, who had been hostage at Rome. And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
Okay, where are we at?
Verse 14.
Keep on going. So hold on. So read 14 again.
13.
Okay, we're not 14.
14.
Yeah, no. Read 13 again. Okay. I want to break a point on that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
They gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. After Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. So he gave them the license. So the license is what? Permission. They gave them the permission to do after the ordinance of the heathen, after their laws, after their what? Ways. Come on, 14, watch this.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen.
Stop. The places of exercises at that time in Greece. What was they wearing? They was butt-hole naked. That was the customs. I mean, if you break it up today, I mean, I'm not trying to be nasty or nothing. I'm gonna keep it PG. But if you go back to those days, they was naked, right? Today, the women is in there with what? Stretch pants on. Or with those biker shorts. They're showing everything that they got. The only thing is a thin layer of what? Clothing that is on there, but you can see everything. You know, not to put you on the spot, officer, but you work out, right?
Yeah.
You see that. I mean, I know you're not trying to look, but that's real, right?
Yeah, that's real.
Okay, so go ahead, Officer George, what you got? Look, so, he understand because you work out too?
I used to work out too.
Oh, we don't care.
That's way back then.
Okay,
It was worse back then, but you know, if you go to museums and stuff, you see those statues of those Greek.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You said that slipped past me. You said you worked out back then.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I used to work out, but that's
No. But the point I wanted to make was you were saying that it was worse back then. Is that what you said?
I kind of slipped on it. They were still wearing near to nothing in gyms. You know,
Okay.
the little shorts.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But not to get off topic, when you go to museums and stuff, you see them Greeks and all that, and the Romans. They always pose and naked.
Facts.
You know, like the dude with the discus.
Yes. Facts.
He butt naked.
Butt naked. All praises. Facts. Go let Dominique in, please. Facts. So they do pose naked. You're right. So now, where we at, officer? Verse 15. Okay, come on.
And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant.
Stop. So this is talking about who? It's talking about us. It's talking about us, the Jews. It says they made themselves uncircumcised. So now let's deal. So to be uncircumcised, we must know what circumcised means. Okay? So they made themselves, let's start with 14 again also and read down, because I did interrupt you when you was reading and we went into that. I just want everybody to get back on point.
First Maccabees 1 and verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
So according to the customs of the heathen. So every time you look at building when you look at exercises, Planet Fitnesses and all that, that didn't come from us. That came from them. Read, go ahead.
And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant.
So they made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant. So when they made themselves uncircumcised, what would they go into? They made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant.
They turned from the law.
They did what?
They turned from the law.
Officer George. Right in that thing right there. Get one of those the Bibles right there. Yeah, in that thing right there. Anybody got an extra? No, I got one. Here. Give them that, Brother Glenn, for me, because we're gonna be in there majority, and I can use my other one.
In the drawer is my.
It's in the. You don't see the Bibles right there.
Okay.
The Bibles, yeah. No, in the back one. Yeah, it's raggedy. So no, it's raggedy. Apocryphal. You see it down there? Yeah, it's raggedy. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Did he need one?
No, I already gave him. Did you give him? He already gave it to you. Okay. All right. We have First Maccabees. All right.
Okay.
Obviously, petty. He's petty, but he all over me. Yeah, I told you. Okay. Yeah, his old trusty junkie. All right. Here we go. So for you to be uncircumcised. All right, everybody, we're going to go to Deuteronomy Chapter 10 and verse 16. I must show you what circumcised is to explain to you what uncircumcised is. All right, because some of y'all might be thinking it's talking about yourself, your parts, a man's parts. It's not talking about that. Let's see what it's talking about. Deuteronomy Chapter 10, verse 16. Also.
Deuteronomy 10, verse 16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart.
So the Bible says, circumcise therefore the foreskins of your heart. Hold that also, please. Give me, you know what I want. Genesis 6 and 5, I think. Is that it?
Yes.
Yep. All right. So we're going to show you what the heart is. Okay. We're going to show you what the heart is. Genesis chapter 6, and we're going to start with verse 5.
Genesis 6 and verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Where do you think with? Your mind. So the heart is your what? Your mind. So let's go back, Officer 10 and 16 one more time.
Deuteronomy 10 and verse 16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart.
So circumcise therefore the foreskin, meaning the garbage that's in your head. You gotta circumcise that. You gotta cut that off. Circumcise means to cut off. Okay, so you're cutting off the garbage that's in your head. Read.
And be no more stiff-necked.
And be no more stiff-necked. Meaning be no more hard-headed. Everybody got that? So now, when God says you circumcising your heart, you cutting all that garbage off. To be uncircumcised, what are you doing? You allowing the garbage to what?
Come back in.
Die. All praises. All praises. Make sense to everybody? All right, all praises. Let's go back also. Let's go back.
First Maccabees 1 in verse 15. And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant.
So they made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant. Come on.
And joined themselves to the heathen.
And joined themselves to the heathen.
And were sold to do mischief.
And was sold. Meaning when you was sold, that means you was give me a word. I can't think of it. You was when you was sold, that means you was
in agreement, basically.
Yeah, in agreement. Thank you. I can't even get it together. You was in agreement. Thank you, officer. I needed that. All right, come on.
Verse 16. And when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of two realms.
So when he thought to reign over Egypt, this was 169. Write this down. 169 BC. He thought to reign over Egypt. 169 BC. When he went into Egypt. Read. Come on.
Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy.
Made war against Ptolemy. Come on.
King of Egypt.
Read.
But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death.
Read.
Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof.
Read.
And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt,
Read. He
returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude.
All right, write this also down. When in 168 BC, he went back to Egypt. The first time he went to Egypt, he fought, but they went back to Egypt in 168 BC and then conquered them. Everybody got that? All right. Go ahead, officer. Read it again.
Verse 20. And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year.
He returned again in the 143rd year.
And went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude.
So he went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. Come on.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light and all the vessels thereof and the table of the showbread and the pouring vessels and the vials and the censers of gold and the veil and the crowns and the golden ornament that were before the temple, all which he pulled off.
All which he pulled off. Come on.
He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went to his own land.
And when he took it all away, he went to his own land and did what?
Having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly. Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel.
There was a great what?
Mourning in Israel.
So it's great mourning in Israel. Watch this, read.
In every place where they were, so that the princes and the elders mourned, the virgins and the young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed.
And what?
And the beauty of women was changed.
And the beauty of women was changed. Wow. Well, hold on, man. That's heavy. Also, hold on. And the beauty of women. What verse we in?
20. And the beauty of women. 25, 26.
26. All right, go back to read that one more time for me. I want you to read that one more time.
Verse 26. So that the princes and the elders mourned, the virgins and the young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed.
And the beauty of women was changed. Watch this. Go back to verse 9. Come on.
Verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
And evils was multiplied in the earth. What happened with some of that evil? The beauty of women changed. Give me Proverbs 7 and 10, please. Proverbs 7 and 10. And the beauty of women. This is laid up right now today. You can go anywhere. If you go to like a Essen, what's it called? Essen concert. Essence. All right. If you go to Cincinnati, the Jazz Festival, where we used to go, I think they still have it. I don't know. I ain't been there since a long time. You go. I know you go to Louisiana to the Essex concert. You go down to Miami to that little thing they got down there. NBA basketball week. You will find women down there walking. I said all that to this. You'll find women around there walking with see-through outfits on, showing everything from the Rudy to the Tootie. You would think you in Vegas. Right. Mardi Gras without the Mardi. He's silly, man. Read what you got, man. Probably.
Verse 10.
Read.
And behold, there met him a woman with an attire of an harlot.
So they met him a woman with a attire of an harlot.
And subtle of heart.
And subtle of heart.
She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abideth not in her house.
She's loud and stubborn. Her feet abideth not in her house. That's all I want. I just wanted the part where he met a woman in the attire of an harlot. So when we go back, it says that the beauty of women was changed. What else could happen in that change? Even though they started wearing haughty clothes, they started showing more. What else happened, brothers? The beauty of women changed. What else could happen?
They were dealing with them Greeks and them Romans even back then. Homosexuality was around at that time too.
Yeah, but you're going off. Yeah, we're going off track. I want to deal with the beauty of the women. I got you on that. But give me the beauty of women did change. That's what I'm going to deal with. The beauty of women did change. Think about today and then think about back then. Back then is the start of today. What you see today is heavy of it, but what you seen back then, because you remember the Bible says ain't nothing new under the what? Ain't nothing new under the sun. So what you seen today is a glimpse of what you seen what? Back then.
The negatives.
Okay, the negatives, we said that, but give me something else. I'm looking for something else. Think about it. Whoredom. Okay, whoredom. Y'all thinking about don't think about the sexual act. Think about their appearance. That's what I want you to think about. Their appearance. How about the more makeup? How about makeup? Because you know our women is natural. Mm-hmm. Our women was always beautiful, natural. They didn't need makeup. The Europeans or Esau or Edom, they need that makeup. They need some color in their skin. We don't need that. We naturally beautiful. Everybody got that? You know? So anything somebody can think of something else? Help me out. I see the makeup. What else could have changed? The hair. They could have started experimenting with the hair. That's a great point. Great point, Dominic. They could have started experimenting with the hair. Because you got to remember, let's go back. Go back to 14. 14.
First Maccabees 1 and verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
According to the customs. So they did the customs of the heathen. What was the customs of the heathen? They did what they wanted to what? Do. It was not according to God. So even back then, our women could have been straightened out their hair. They had stuff where they could do that back then. But it might not be like a hot iron today, but they could have put two stones together. I don't know. Don't give me the land. I don't know what they had back then. You know, they did have fire, so they could have put the fire and put two things in their hot irons and you dig? I know I'm silly, guys. That's why nobody watches me, guys. Well, you can't learn that from you. You always throw a joke. All right, I'm through throwing jokes, brothers. All right. Come on, read what you got, officer. Where was we at? That's it. Let's go back down to where we was. And the beauty of women did change.
Verse 27.
7-12. Yeah.
Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof. And all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. Mm-hmm. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceably words unto them.
Oh, this is what I want to deal with. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. Now y'all notice, I want y'all to peep Esau out right here, because this is the same thing happens today. Esau hit the block. They have 500 police because you crossed the street the wrong way, and they'll say to you, brother, calm down. I'm not upset. No, calm down. I'm not upset. But just because he got that great multitude behind him, right? Now he's going to play you like a piano. I'm pretty sure every man in this room seen that before. All right? You get pulled over for going 2 miles over the speed limit. You got 50 cops behind you. What the hell? Bro, what's going on? Well, you know, we don't know. We ran your license plate. Well, you find out. I ain't killed no damn body. Well, you know, we just taking precaution. No, that's called racial profiling. He just assumed that I was going to be bad. So watch this. Let me read it one more time so I get my thought back what I was going to say.
And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
When people come with great multitudes, do they mean good or bad? Now, when we come with a great multitude, we means what? Good, because we coming to teach the word. But when Esau come with a great multitude, what they coming for, brothers? They coming for what else? War. They coming to war, or they coming to the same words they use today, they was doing back then. Bullying. They was coming to bully us. See, ain't hit a nerve right there. Because see, that's their whole campaign today is don't bully kids in school. What you bullied every damn nation that was on the earth back then. Didn't the Bible say it? Damn. See, it's easy when you're in power. You can easily say, well, let's stop bullying. Because you're the bully. The bully's telling everybody to stop being a bully. Everybody gonna be, okay, we'll stop being bullied. No, you're the bully. Read. Watch this. Oh, no. Yep. Is that my thought? So they came with a great multitude. Here you go.
We'll twirl it out again.
30.
30. And spake peaceably words unto them.
Stop. I'm going to show you what happened to our brothers. So they came and spoke peacefully words to them. I'm going to show you what happened to our brothers, the Indians. Give me your Psalms chapter 55 and start with verse 16. Let's see what did they not do look, this is Esau back then, and this is Esau now. The conquistadors, which is Esau, did the same thing to our brothers, the so-called Indian, which was Israelites. They did the same thing to them back then. That's right. Let's see this happen. Come on, officer, read what you got.
You want 20?
16.
55 and 16?
Let me get that. Let me make sure. Because you look like you're confused. You're right. I don't want that. Stop. Start with verse
20.
20. That's what I want. 20.
Psalm 55 and verse 20.
Yeah.
He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
So they put forth their hands to be at peace with you. Over here in Maccabees, read Maccabees again, also what it says.
First Maccabees 1 and verse 30, and spake peaceably words unto them.
So watch this. Read that again. Psalms.
He put forth Psalms 55 and 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
The same thing they did over in Maccabees. Read.
He had broken his covenant.
He had broken his covenant, I mean his promise, his treaties.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Read.
But war was in his heart.
But what?
War was in his heart.
Come on.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
See, that's why you need a multitude. Because you come in with soft words, and when somebody don't accept your soft words with soft words back, I don't accept what you do. Now you're going to kill them. So their words are smoother than what? Butter. Now let's go back off to verse 30 again.
First Maccabees 1 and verse 30. And spake peaceably words unto them.
And speak peaceably words unto them.
But all was deceit.
And what?
All was deceit.
And all was what, officer?
Deceit.
All of it was deceit, officer. No. Yeah. Officer George, turn off that. The heat, please. I'm very frying here, but we're burning it up. All right. And it says, and spake peacefully words unto them, but all was deceit. So all of it was trickery. It was craftiness. Read.
For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel.
He did what? He fell what? He fell suddenly upon the city and smoked it very sore and destroyed much people who?
Of Israel.
Stop. I thought he came with his hands out for peace. Ain't that the same thing they did to the so-called Indians? They came with peace, but they put smallpox in their blankets. They gave them a gift. A gift destroyed the heart. They did the same thing here. Hold on, also. Get that word definition for me. Credence. No, yeah. You own it. Google down there.
The definition of credence, according to Google's dictionary: belief or acceptance of something as true.
Okay, so they have given prudence, meaning they gave. Hold on, go down. Give me some more. Is it a small silent? No, belief, faith. Yeah, we're not too fast. Give me 1 second. Go back up. Go to not Murray. Yep. Go to that. Yep. Click that one. Let's do it.
Basically, they believed him when he
But
came
yeah,
with peace.
basically they believed him, right? Well, so when they believed him, that's when he was credible. That's what he right there. I got it. When he was credible, when they believed him, like I was saying, when he was credible, they did what? He what?
It says, for when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city.
When they believed him. That's why. Give me hold that. Give me
Accepted.
What is it?
Believe or accepted.
Or accepted. Yeah, that's what I was with credibility. All right, give me Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha 12 and 10.
Ecclesiasticus 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
What the Bible said?
Never trust thine enemy.
Never trust thy enemy. Watch this.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his
You
wickedness.
see, so so when they gave him credibility, when they trusted him, they killed him. He killed them when they trusted him. So you should never trust your what?
Enemies.
All right. Let's go back, officer. Verse 31.
Verse 31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire, and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a strong hold for them. Verse 34. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein.
So they replaced us and put their nation in there. Come on.
They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there. And so they became a sore snare.
Agreed.
For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel.
Agreed.
Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary, and defiled it.
Come on.
Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her. And her own children left her.
You see that thing right there? So our own land became strange to us, meaning that this other nation, they was doing so much of them that we didn't see ourselves in that land no more. We didn't see ourselves in that land no more. But I'm giving you the breakdown of this breaking this down because some things is as we go through and we're gonna read other things, you're gonna be able to understand what happened right here. This is why we was called Greeks, Gentiles, Greeks and Gentiles. Thank you. Awesome. All right, read what you got.
Verse 39. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach,
Read.
her honor into contempt.
Her Sabbath into reproach, meaning that was disapproved of, and her honor into contempt. Read.
As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning.
Read.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom
He wrote to his whole kingdom
that all should be one people,
that everybody should be one people. Come on.
and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Read.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
You see, because many of the Israelites consented because their mindset was not on God. Their mindset was on worldly. Their mindset was not on God. Their mindset was on worldly. That's why it was easy for them to convert over. It was easy for them to convert over to the worldly thing because their mindset was already what? There. It was easy. Watch this, read.
And sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
They should follow the what?
Strange laws of the land.
Come on.
And forbid burnt offerings.
And forbid burnt offerings.
And sacrifice and drink offerings.
And sacrifice and drink offerings.
In the temple. And that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves. And chapels of idols. And sacrifice swine's flesh. And unclean beasts.
So they set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, swine fest of unclean beasts. The reason why he is because of what? To keep us from what? Serving our what? Serving our God. So we're going to read this one more time because I'm going to take y'all right now to where we at in America. Go back. Go back and start with 43 and read down also.
First Maccabees 1 and verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers.
Stop. I'm sorry. How can you fear God if you sacrifice unto idols? How can you fear God? It says many of them consented into their religion and sacrifice to idols. Hold that real quick. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 32. I think I want 32 and 27. Let me get there. Deuteronomy 32. 17.
Deuteronomy 32.
Let's start with 16.
Deuteronomy 32 and verse 16. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoked they him to anger.
See, so this law was already out back then. Moses gave this law. This was thousand years or hundreds of years, later. This was hundreds of years later. He already told you this right here, Moses did. Read it again, also watch this.
Deuteronomy 32 and 16. They provoked him to jealousy.
They provoked him to jealousy.
With strange gods.
With strange gods.
With abominations provoked they him to anger.
Read.
They sacrifice unto devils.
They sacrifice unto devils.
Not to God.
Not to God.
To gods whom they knew not.
To gods they knew not.
To new gods that came newly up.
Read.
Whom your fathers feared not.
You see that thing right there? So this thing right there was even true in the Greek captivity. They was doing the same thing in the Greek captivity. How are we doing that today? Give me the Officer George, get the mic ready. Any of y'all brothers, we're going to talk with the mic. Officer George, get the mic ready. For one of y'all want to make a comment on that? Anybody?
What was your question again?
I said, how is that related to today? Huh?
Today, we got all these different denominations that actually pull the true Israelite people away from their true God and their true ways of worship. It's actually caused us to sin because now we are off into Catholicism, being Baptists, being Jehovah's Witnesses, worshiping other gods by participating in these feast days, participating in America's feast days and feast activities and stuff.
Okay, all praise. Keep it back. Keep it mic away a little bit, Father. That was a heck of a participate right there. I'm messing with you. I got you. Okay, all praises. All right. So they did the same thing, right? God was already preparing us that we was gonna do these same things coming up. They did it then with the Greeks. And it was easy for them to leave God's laws. They sacrificed unto the devil. They could not believe in God because if you fear God, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. So they could not fear God because if they feared God, right, how could they leave God's sacrifice because another man come up and tell you, hey, bro, that's a sacrifice. Leave God's laws because another man comes up and tell you to come do our laws. Leave your God's laws alone. They could not believe. You cannot believe in God if you allow that to happen. You cannot believe in God. That's why Christ said, even all the way into death, Christ spoke what he spoke. Believe what he would believe. So did the disciples. Anybody that's after them, they died death for this word. Anybody before them that died death for this word. You had to believe all the way to death. Do that make sense? All right, watch it. Read what you got.
Back to Maccabees.
Yeah, Maccabees.
First Maccabees 1 in verse 40. Was that 40?
Yeah, verse 40.
As had been
we started with 43 going down. 43 on there.
Okay. First Maccabees 1 and verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
They should follow the strange laws. There's something strange to you. That means you ain't never did it before. Strange laws of the land. So these laws was different than our laws. Read.
And forbid burnt offerings.
Read.
And sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple. And that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
They should profane the Sabbaths and festival days is the feast days. So we should profane, meaning make not holy or biblical the Sabbath. The same thing they do today. They made, now let's read that one more time, 45, because then I'm going to make a point. Come on.
Verse 45. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple. And that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
And they should profane. Now jump over to verse 14 also. Watch this.
Verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the custom of the heathens.
Now, why did I go back there? Question. Why did I go back there?
Customs of the heathen.
Yeah. Yeah. Why did I go back there? Anybody?
Customs of the heathen.
Because yes, what I'm asking is, I went back to verse 14 I went back to verse 14 because the custom of the heathen, wherefore the built places of exercise in Jerusalem, according to the custom of the heathen. So the reason why I went back there, that's not what I want. I want 4. Yeah, 4. That's my bad. 4, and I'm gonna start with verse 14. Watch this. Start with 13. No, start with 12.
2 Maccabees 4 in verse 12.
Now watch this. Everybody go to 2 Maccabees. Give them a second to get there. All right. This is the same thing. It's just in 2 Maccabees. Watch this. A little more in depth. Come on.
For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat.
Stop. What happens when you go into the NBA or the NFL? They give you a what? Same thing that happened back then happens right now. I'm going to show you why I went back there to the places of them building 8 places of exercise. I'm going to bring it up to it right now. Come on, read.
Now, such was the height of Greek fashions.
Such was the height of Greek fashions.
An increase of heathenish manners.
It's heathenish manners. Come on.
Through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, the ungodly wretch, and no high priest.
And no, Jason was a priest. He was an Israelite. He was an Israelite, and he was no priest. He was a false prophet leading our people to destruction. If you look at it, he's like a Jesse Jackson, or what's that other dude? I'm trying to think of his name. Al Sharpton, the one just got caught in the little thing.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think of. He's just like them. Just want money. Read.
That the priest had no courage.
He want money and the clap that he's a big time priest. He want the notoriety that he's a big time priest, but he was nothing. He was a betrayer of God's laws and people. Read. Go ahead.
That the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar, but despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hastened to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise.
See, they was hasting to be partakers. Meaning, let's bring it up today. They was hasting, meaning they was in a hurry. They was in a rush. This was the main thing that was their main focus. What is our young brothers doing right now? They starting off in Little League football playing on Saturday with the hope of playing high school football on Friday nights, which is still the what? Sabbath. Then they go into college where they're going to play Saturday morning, still profaning the what? Sabbath. Then they're going to go to the NFL where they're going to have meetings all day Saturday, but they're going to play Sunday. All of it is in the same ways of profaning the Sabbath. Even though they play on Sunday, they still got to have meetings. They still got to have all that. They still going to be working on what? Saturday, so they can play what? Sunday. Profaning of God's laws. Come on.
To be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise, after the game of discus.
After the game of what?
Discus.
Read.
Call them forth.
Call them forth.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers.
But liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
And you see, they like the glory, the praise of the Grecians more than all. That's why our brothers get up. That's why our brothers work out so hard. These young brothers in the gym, they working out hard so they get their bodies pumped up, so they can go whoop, so they can go be stars for the devil. I'm not talking about y'all brothers. We talking about these young brothers whose their career is to play in the NFL, or the NBA, or professional baseball, or hockey now, because black folks, they trying to tap into hockey now. But with all those sports, you must build your what?
You gotta build your body.
500. Y'all can tell I don't work out. I'm natural. All right, come on, man. Read.
Verse 15.
16.
No, 16. by reason whereof sore calamity came upon them. For they had them to be their enemies and avengers.
So they had to be their enemies and avengers. So let's break it down for these brothers that don't understand that. They be your avengers. They be your enemies. They the one who kills you, and be your avengers on when someone of their people that kills you. Today's layman term, like the police is our enemy, far as not far as give me some good words. I'm not far as like patrolling the neighborhoods, but when they trying to set you up, when they trying to shoot you down just so that gun can get off. That's what I mean, your enemies. Okay? According to Deuteronomy 28, that whole nation is our enemy. But we're not talking about that because we know some black men, some Israelites are policemen.
Right.
Some Israelites are policemen. So we're not talking about that. Because rarely do you hear black policemen officers shooting down black men. You hear that. A black young man had to really put that man's life in danger, a black police officer's life in danger, for him to shoot him down.
Right.
Everybody understand? All right. So, come on, officer. I'm sorry.
All right, verse 16.
By
By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them, for they had them to be their enemies and avengers,
read.
whose custom they followed so earnestly, and unto whom they desired to be like in all things.
Stop. So let me ask you a question. He says whose laws they follow so earnestly. You will get a black man that won't go over 35 miles an hour. But if you tell him he got to do the Sabbath day, he'll shoot you. He'll cuss you out. What you mean I got to do the Sabbath day? Christ died for that. Beep. But they won't go over 35 miles. No. The police, no. I break the law of the land. I cannot do. But if you tell them hey, bro, come and do the feast day. No. I don't have to do that. No. Don't have to do that. Our people don't think on that level. But they follow earnestly the Edomites, America, the Greeks, the Spaniards, the Romans. They follow their laws honestly. Read verse 17. Come on.
Verse 17. For it is not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of God.
It's not a lightweight thing to do wickedly against the law of God. Read.
But the time following shall declare these things.
But the time following meaning destruction. All right, let's go back. Now let's read that one more time. Hey, this is going into this class is going to be going into Monday sundown, the actually feast of dedication. You will be here doing this class will start. It'll be started before. I'll tell y'all about that. But this class will be, the end of this class will continue. So we will be live. All right. Feast of dedication. All right, where we at, Officer Jamal?
Verse 48.
Verse 48. All right, read 48 one more time. Watch this.
First Maccabees 1 and verse 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness.
So leave their children uncircumcised, meaning so they will not follow God's laws. You notice everything the Greeks are doing right here is against God's laws. Let's deal with America today. America says God's laws, they seminary schools say God's laws are done away with. They said you can eat pork. When they doing that back then? Didn't they say let's do away with God's laws? Didn't they say that you can eat pork back then? Also, they sacrifice unto idols. They celebrated what? Thanksgiving. Right now they celebrating Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, Valentine's Day. What else? What else? What else?
You got Easter.
Easter. They sacrifice unto idols. See what I mean? Same thing back then. Ain't nothing new under the what? Sun. Come on, Officer. 49.
49.
To the end.
All manner of uncleanness and profanation. To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances.
To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinance. That's where we at right now. This is the beginning right here. The Greeks is the beginning of our end where we at right now here in America. It started right here with the Greeks before Christ even walked the earth. After Christ walked the earth, all the way right now, it's been successful. Now, we don't, because of Jeremiah 17:4, thou even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage, because God took all that away from us and made us what? Forget who he was. All of it started right here because our people did not take heed to what happened to us in the Greek captivity. We'll come back to God and we'll do the laws for a short period of time. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 years. We'll keep it strong. And then we'll do what?
Fall off.
We'll fall right back off. So when we dealing with brothers right now, why you think that we as leaders can't have no pity on brothers? Why? Why you think we can't have no pity on brothers? Because this is always, ain't nothing new under the what? Right. Come on, officer.
Verse 50. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
He said he should die.
In the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people.
And appointed overseers over all the people. Read.
Commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice, city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law. And so they committed evils in the land.
Read.
And drove the Israelites into secret places.
And they drove in like Israelites into secret places.
Even wheresoever they could flee for succor.
For succor, meaning aid. Wherever they could flee to get aid at. Come on.
Now the 15th day of the month, Caslu, is it what is it? Mm-hmm. In the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar.
Read.
And builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side.
Read.
And burnt incense at the doors of their houses.
Read.
And in the streets.
Come on.
And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law.
So when they rent in pieces the book of the laws, what happened?
Which they found, they burnt them with fire.
They burnt them with fire. Stop. Hey guys, give me Ecclesiastes 1:9, so we can read it, so we can get a view of what I'm going to say. I want you to view it.
Ecclesiastes 1 in verse 9.
Watch this.
The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done.
And that which shall be done.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
There's no new thing under the sun. So if they burnt our books back then, what makes you think they won't try it again? They already trying to get rid of the Bible. Didn't the Pope, all those leaders, including, what's his name? The white dude with all the money. Bill Gates. Mm-hmm. Didn't all of them just have a meeting? Didn't all of them say, hey, let's be one religion. We just need one religion. Whoa. Sound familiar? We're reading it right back, right now. As we get to the end of this, I hope all y'all pay attention or tune in till we read to the end. Because just like what happened then, it's going to happen now. Just like we just read, ain't nothing new under the sun. God came and got us then. God gonna come and get us now. And that's all praises the Most High.
Sure.
Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
That's right. All right, all praises. Read, come on.
It says, in the self-same manner wrote, is that where we're at? Nah.
56, 57.
57. Yeah.
Yeah.
First Maccabees 1 and verse 57. And wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death.
So if you read the Bible back then, you was put to death. Read. Now it probably be put you in what?
Put you in prison.
Put you in prison. And could be read.
Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities.
No, read. Go read 57 again, officer. We're gonna precept that.
57. And wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
Watch this. Give me Matthew chapter 24, officer. And start with verse 8.
Matthew 24, verse 8.
Watch this.
All these are the beginning of sorrow.
All these are the beginning of sorrow. Watch this.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted,
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted.
and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Come on.
And then shall many be offended.
Stop. Many shall be offended. Just like many of the Israelites consented back then, a lot of y'all gonna consent now. A lot of y'all, when the time get rough, the rough get going, y'all gonna consent. Y'all gonna get put to death. Read.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
And shall hate one another. Many is gonna hate one another and betray one another.
Verse 11.
That's it. All right, let's go back. Verse 58 also.
First Maccabees 1 and verse 58. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month,
Read.
to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God, at which time according to the commandment they put to death certain women.
They put to death what?
Certain women.
Now, which read. Come on, watch this. They put to death certain women. Why?
And it caused their children to be circumcised.
See, some of y'all women's gonna get put to death. Because you're hard-headed. Follow the laws. Stay in the power of the Lord. Give me that in Ephesians 6 and 10. Watch this.
Ephesians 6 and verse 10. Finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
You got to be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. Awesome.
Finally, my brother,
There you go.
be strong in the Lord
And strong in the Lord
and in the power of his might.
and the power of his might. Y'all women must be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. You men must be extra strong. Because these are the times. This is the end. This is the dada. You don't get no more. Did I say it right? Dada.
Yeah, down.
Okay, I said it right. Make sure I said it right. All right. This is the end. You must be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. I had somewhere else I wanted to go, but let me. Let's go back. If it come back to me, I'll read. I'll come back. I'll tell you. So you women gotta be strong. You gotta be strong, and you must do the same thing that those women did. Those women died to circumcise the kids, as the law is. So some of y'all women can't die if y'all always worldly. Gonna die anyway. You must die doing the laws. You must die serving God. Don't die serving your lust in this world, because your lust in this world, you're gonna die foolishly. Foolishly. Everybody understand that? Read. Come on.
And they hanged their infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them.
Damn. Read it again. They did what else?
And they hanged the infants about their neck.
And they hanged the infants about their neck.
And rifled their houses.
And rifled their houses.
And slew them that had circumcised them.
And they slew them that have circumcised them. Now watch this. The same thing happened to them. Let's see when we came over to, give me Psalms 137 and 1. Let's see the same thing when we came over here to Babylon the Great.
Psalms 137 and verse 1.
Let's see that the same thing happened to us. Read.
By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept. Then we remembered Zion.
Remember Zion, which is Israel. Come on.
We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof.
Read.
For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song.
Read.
And they that wasted us required of us mirth.
And they that wasted us, they that killed us, required of us mirth. Yeah, how you want me to be happy and you killing us? Read.
Sing us one of these songs.
Sing us one of these songs
of Zion
of Israel.
How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
Read.
If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning.
Read.
If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth.
Read. See, that did you know that Zion's talking about Jerusalem, which is talking about Israel. All right, come on.
If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom.
Here it goes. Remember the children of Edom.
In the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, raise it.
Raise it, raise it.
Even to the foundation thereof.
Mm-hmm.
O daughter of Babylon.
O daughter what?
Of Babylon.
O daughter of Babylon. It's talking about Edom.
Who ought to be destroyed.
Who ought to be destroyed.
Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
Here it goes.
Happy shall he be that taketh.
Happy shall he be that taketh what?
And dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
Woo. Same thing they did to us in the Greeks is the same thing they did to us when they came over into America. Woo. What you got, Officer George? Come on.
No, I was just sitting there thinking. I said, "That's payback. That's retribution. That's God's justice."
That's God's justice against us, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, against them.
No, that's
back to what they did to us.
No. Let's read it again, officer.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
Happy should it be. Now, start with verse 8.
Verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed.
So Babylon's going to be destroyed.
Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
And happy shall he be that rewarded thee that thou hast served us. Come on.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
Right. So, but what did they do to us at first? They did our what?
They did our babies.
They did our babies. Like, that's the point I was making. Yeah. So now watch this. Let's go back to Maccabees. Also, verse, yep.
First Maccabees 1 in verse 61. And they hanged the infants about their necks.
So, different killing, but they was killing what?
Babies.
They were killers, but they was killing babies. Read.
And rifled their houses,
And right from their houses.
and slew them that had circumcised them.
Read.
Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
See, many of them say, you know what, we're not eating that stuff. Read.
Wherefore they chose rather to die.
That's what you gotta do. That's where you, give me that. I've been trying to go to that since I started. Give me it, Revelations 18:4.
Revelations 18 in verse 4.
Revelations 18:4. Because also made me think about something. Go ahead.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people.
And he said, what?
Come out of her, my people.
And he said, come out of her, my people.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
And that you be not partakers of her sins.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
And that you receive not of her plague. So God told us to do what? Come out of her. Who's the her? Who's the her, Brother Glenn?
America.
All praises. God told us to come out of America. All right. So we won't be partakers of her what? Of her sins, her plagues. Exactly. All praises. So let's go back and read that again one more time, officer.
First Maccabees 1 in verse 62. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
And not to eat any unclean thing.
Wherefore they chose rather to die.
They chose what?
Rather to die,
Read.
that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died.
And then they died. So they chose not to eat or break God's laws. So then they died. Read.
And there was a very great wrath upon Israel.
Because we was keeping the what? We was keeping the laws. So ain't nothing new under the what? Nothing new under the sun. Everybody understand that? Same thing we gonna have to go through then. Same thing we're gonna have to go through now. All right. This is the dedication. I think that's what I call it, the dedication, which is the Feast of Dedication class. We will continue this class. We will continue this class. What's today? Oh, Monday, sundown. We'll continue this class Monday, sundown. So y'all brothers and sisters come here, get ready to continue this class. Learn. How many of y'all got some good notes today? All right. I know we ain't got to it yet. Yeah, y'all like, well, we ain't talking. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Because on the next parts we're gonna skip. So it's gonna be skipping. So that's why I read one. I want to read one full. Two we'll read maybe half of it. 3 and 4 we'll skip into it. Everybody got it? All right. So that's today's thing on that. I appreciate y'all brothers and sisters watching us. Next week, like I said, we'll continue. Brothers and sisters out here, stay in this truth. Keep your head up. Keep your head in this Bible. We are TTIC, and with that, we'll say shalom.